Westchester, Pennsylvania, and I am one giddy yogi. I know a lot of you have been tuning in with me on a regular basis on Sunday evenings for what we call our Sunday reset. And a lot of times it's just like a pretty chill conversation. And within those conversations, a lot of you have been asking me about yoga and my yoga practice and also how to start your own. I'm just going to say a quick hello to all of you who are logging in. I see your names popping up. Thank you so much for joining. I want to spend a couple of minutes talking about my personal yoga journey and how I've been striving to bring it to QVC. But before I get into that, I do want to quickly show you what is behind me, because this is what has me giddy beyond belief, guys. Oh my gosh. Okay. Why am I so stinking excited about these, what looks like draped fabric over the table? Friends, we finally have amazing yoga mats at QVC. It is from a brand called Yoga Design Lab, and I couldn't be more thrilled. So I hope you'll stick around with me to chat about that. But I hope you'll stick around for a couple of minutes here just so I can share with you how passionate I am about this and how I know that it changes lives. I have started my own yoga practice probably about 14 years ago. And I did it while I was in the midst of learning how to become a little bit healthier in my mind, body, spirit, nutrition. And it was the one form of workout that really allowed me to connect with myself and a lot of the barriers that I had to loving my own body. And I fell in love with it so much that I went into my own yoga education and became a certified yoga instructor. Yoga means union, and it means that fusion of mind, body, and spirit, which is why so many people love it so, so much. And so that's why I have been trying as hard as I can to bring it to QVC. And the woman you're about to meet is a huge part of this journey that we are finally bringing to fruition right now. Her name is Diani Bella. Namaste, Diani. I'm so thrilled to our QVC. Yeah. And Diani is here because she is an ambassador for this brand. It's called Yoga Design Lab, guys, and it is the most amazing, durable, beautiful, sustainable brand of yoga mats. It takes a lot for me to kind of put my own weight behind a brand when it comes to yoga, because I have a lot of brands that I like and that I dislike, and this is a brand new favorite. Diani, tell us a little bit about yourself, please, and then we're going to get into these mats, because they have absolutely changed my yoga practice, and it takes a lot to do that.
I am so glad to hear that. My name's Diani. I'm based in Los Angeles. I'm a yoga instructor, sound healer. I have been doing yoga my whole life. My parents named me Diani, which means one who sits in meditation. So come from very yogi parents as well. And yeah, when Yoga Design Lab approached me, same as you, I've worked with a lot of brands. I teach yoga here. I have private studios, private clients. And to me, the mat is, well, the only thing you bring to yoga, and it's the most important. So when they approached me, I, like you, have, brands I've looked at, liked, enjoyed, but these to me are life-changing, like for so many different reasons, and I'm excited to talk about with you.
Glad you use that phrase, Diani, because it's one that I'm very hesitant to use unless I really feel it fits, right? Like, oh, these shoes were life-changing. This lipstick was like, well, slow down, right? I'm sure it was great, but like, the way that yoga has literally changed lives, and I hear so many stories from various people, I'm sure you do too. And I think for a lot of folks, myself included, it's because it helped them learn how capable their bodies are and how capable their minds are.
And just how simple it is to, like you and I had spoke about, coming to a gym, you need to wear clothes, weights, all these things. Yoga, you need your breath, you need your body, and you need a mat.
All right, I'm reading some of these comments and questions that are coming in. I'm not leaning in creepily in the camera. Gogo says, what are some of the benefits of yoga? Diani, you and I can kind of, go back and forth on this, and we could talk about it all day. For me, it is equal parts learning how to slow down as well as learning how to move. Like, a lot of exercise is go, 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 do, do, do. And I am not knocking that, because I'm also a spin instructor. So that's a whole lot of that, right? But for me, I find sometimes yoga can be even more challenging, because it's compelling you to sit with your breath, to be in your body, and to notice differences day to day, but not judge them. And I think for a lot of folks, that's what they they find yoga to be home for them because there's such a lack of judgment. Do you find the same?
I absolutely find the same. And even with teaching, I always tell my students, listen to your body even more than you're listening to me. So being inside of your body, and I know almost every yoga instructor everywhere says it, stay on your mat. They mean stay on your mat. It doesn't matter what, who's doing it next to you. It doesn't matter what Jen's doing. If my body doesn't move, don't do it. If my body moves further, go for it. So yeah, I think it's just such an important, it's an inner practice. It's, yes, we're moving, but it's so much more than that.
So I also firmly believe that flexibility is the fountain of youth, that you can be, one of my favorite yoga instructors passed away, I think at the age of 102. And she was just powerfully, amazingly flexible. And I really do think that's part of what we're going for so long. But Diani, before we go off on our 15-hour discussion about yoga, because we could, I want to talk about Yoga Design Lab. As a little sidebar, there's going to be, and let me see if I can find them for you, and this is just a couple of them, yoga mats that are now available at QVC.com. And we were extremely particular which brand we were going to align with because we wanted them to be durable, long-lasting, far more sustainable than a lot of the brands that you're going to see out there, and even easy to maintain. And oh, by the way, cute. All right, so Diani, kind of walk me through some of the styles. These are all represented on QVC.com, and you can maybe start over here, this really cute peach one. Tell me about that.
Yes, so the peach one is our infinity mat. To me, this is the best for a beginner. The grip is great. It's actually 5 millimeters versus the other ones are a little smaller. This is my mom's favorite mat, actually, so she can stay cushy. I saw somebody actually just write something about some surgery with joints and everything. This is definitely the mat to go for if there's any issues with joints because it has that spring. It's the grippiest, I would say. So this is the one if you have a dry grip. So if you're not into yoga, there's hot, sweaty, and then there's slower. So we consider that a dry grip. So if you're just here. This one, again, balancing is really easy on it because of the grip. It's one of my favorites, and it's beautiful. The only thing you can't do with this is wear a bunch of body lotion and slide on it. That's the only thing.
Well, and this is going to be a theme that you're going to see with all of these, but one of my biggest frustrations, Diani, and this is for beginner to advanced, is that I would get to going and I would find my hands kept slipping and I kept wanting to come back again. And I was like trying out different gloves and things that just weren't working or just taking my mind off of everything. All of these have that amazing grip. So if you find stable, you want to move into a position like tree where you're on one foot and just kind of learning your balance, these are going to be really great for that. Okay, it was a couple of years ago, Diani, that I learned about cork in yoga mats as I was on this trying to find the grippy mat journey.
Yeah.
Talk to me about this one.
So that, to me, is the most beautiful, obviously. That mandalas is amazing. So cork mats, well, also to talk about the infinity, all of these mats are sustainable. The cork is the completely biodegradable mat. The others are all recyclable. So the cork actually, when you sweat or when it's hot, it loosens up and it actually helps. Once it has moisture, it helps your grip. So again, that same footing, that same hand movement, and again, fully biodegradable. This is the one you want to just hand wash because it's, the one you don't want to throw in the actual washer.
That's used to be they were all hand wash only, but stay with me on this one. Oh, and also stick around, guys, because we're going to do a couple of yoga moves for beginners, and I'm going to finish with a little breath work and a meditation. So I hope you stick around with me for that. Okay, I know that you love this one, like from a beauty standpoint. I have a feeling this is going to be the one that my daughter's going to steal.
Oh, the combo mat. Yes.
This one.
I love that one as well. It's, they're all beautiful. So that combo mat is amazing, 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 especially for hot yoga, especially for anything sweaty, all of it. It actually has a microfiber towel that's built in. That's all made of plastic bottles, recycled plastic bottles. I think each one of those has 19 bottles in it. It's beautiful. That's called the combo because it has that towel included. I have it right here as well. All of the mats also come with a carrying strap. So, and people who are new to yoga, you can actually use the carrying straps for stretching as well. So if you can't touch your toes, grab your strap.
Okay. Also, this one and the one that I'm about to show you, this curved, they feel like velvet underneath your feet. Like it's the most delicious. You literally want to lay face down on and take a nap, which is Shavasana pose, by the way. So take a nap. That's yoga. All right. This is the one. Wait, I just want to double check. Do people have questions? Let's see. Do you recommend beginner yoga for people with chronic illnesses and chronic pain? So once we start talking about chronic illnesses and pain, move into that area where I always defer to the doctor, right? And that is what a smart yoga instructor does. I will tell you, and this is a more generic statement, and Deani can either back me up or suggest otherwise. Yoga for me seems to be the most accessible form of exercise for everyone from obviously beginners to people with limited mobility, people who are in wheelchairs, people who are in their 80s and they've never done yoga before. Other sports, which might be a little bit more limited to those who are starting out, there is a yoga practice for literally everybody. All you need to do is breathe. So if you're living, you can access yoga. Am I right, Deani?
I would completely agree with that statement.
So ask your doctor, right? That's going to be a great way to get started. Okay, Deani, I've never seen before in my life. It's the most amazing thing ever. My boyfriend's getting it because he's super tall. You're never going to get it all in the shot. What is this curved thing?
The curve is for tall, or it's also just for people who like to move more. So I love that mat with different flows. And I know some people on here are beginners, but once you start moving in yoga and you're changing poses a lot, sometimes certain poses might take you off your mat. That one will not. You'll be right on there. It's shaped like an hourglass. It's for taller, larger, and then again, anyone who wants more space.
Yeah, sometimes I'll do certain poses, like flip dog, if you know what that is. Right? And I'm way off the mat. I'm like, excuse me to the person next to me in yoga class. So this is a really great one. Also incredibly, incredibly soft. Tell me a little bit about kind of generically Yoga Design Lab, and then we're going to get into some moves.
Yeah, so it started, the founder was in Bali and was unimpressed, to say the least, with just all these plain yoga mats that were also made of like PVC and toxic chemicals. These are all water-based ink. So he decided to bring the beauty, the performance, and the sustainability all in one. So, like we were talking, yoga means to bind. For me, this product and this company has figured out that perfect bind.
Um, Also, gone are the days of having to buy a yoga mat and then it gets really smelly and gross, and then you have to like replace it every year, which is a landfill situation and all that.
Yeah.
Like, what is the care on the one of these? You can machine wash. Am I right?
The one you're touching right there, you can machine wash.
Machine wash your yoga mat.
Actually, that one and the curve that you're sitting on, you can also machine wash. The Infinity, usually like spray, hand soap, and then the same with the cork. Suggested, I think you can you can hand wash. I'm sorry, we were just saying hand wash. You can machine wash those. So yeah, with the cork and the Infinity, it's just better to wipe down.
Reminder, friends, you can click those images that you see on our screen. You can go to QVC.com, search Yoga Design Lab. Well, you're on .com right now. So Yoga Design Lab. We're going to stay on your screen while you're doing it. I want to double check for questions, and then we're going to do some moves. I had foot problems in the past and even found chair yoga class that was great. Quick little plug, Zen with Jen on QVC Plus. I have a chair yoga class. All right, so you can do chair yoga there. So hyped. Got to get the bigger one because I'm tall. Yeah, I mean, I've seen some friends of mine. They're 6'4", 6'5", and they're sliding off the mats because they're so tall. So check out the curve. I never knew mats were so detailed. I just thought mats were mats. Yeah, I mean, I get it, and that's a myth we're trying to shatter here. Because when you have one that gives you the ability to have a little bit more confidence in your grip and what you're doing, you're less fearful. All right, so Deani, I'm not going to let you go without taking advantage of your knowledge and your skill set. Let's assume you have a new client who's hiring you and goes, look, I'm brand new to yoga. I'm a little scared. Can't touch my toes. I'm not flexible. All the things that you and I hear frequently, right? Can you give me just a handful of moves that I can do maybe first thing in the morning, and I can mix and match them that are kind of going to help me get familiar with how my body moves and what yoga feels like?
Absolutely. I also think for those people to remember, the linking breath to movement helps open flexibility, helps all of those things. And there's so many poses that you sit in and like, I can't touch my toes. It's not even about touching your toes. It's just about melting your heart a little closer to your thighs, a little closer. And with each breath, you're going to go a little deeper. So there's poses where you'll see people are sitting like yin yoga for 5 minutes. And if we watch them on time lapses, they're down 2-3 inches and they don't even know it.
Yes.
So that would be my first thing is waking up in the morning and knowing your breath, closing your eyes, grounding your feet, just taking a deep breath in, filling up your belly, filling up your lungs, and sighing it out. And even with you sitting right now, I would recommend sometimes that flexibility is not there for your knees to touch the ground. There's blocks that we have as well for that, just in case. But I would say first thing in the morning, getting out of bed, maybe come into mountain pose. So standing on your feet, finding that good grip, that 4 corners of your feet. I always tell people lift up your 10 toes, put them back down, and really feel into those 4 corners and feel into that rooting, that grounding. And then I would just take a deep breath and rise my arms up. I would look up at my arms, exhale, bringing your hands back down to heart center. Again, just finding your breath, moving with your breath, maybe even a few times, but coming back up, breathing, looking up. Exhale, lower down. Yes, you can do it seated as well.
It would be easier for people to see me. Yeah.
I'm like, her legs look great. Then I would say that's mountain pose. I mean, there's some more intricacies there. Downward dog is really good. So if you want to, we'll start you in downward dog. So what I always like to tell people, because people seem to think this is very hard to hold usually. So if you bend your knees a lot, they should be as close to your chest, a thigh connection as possible. So that's where you start. Then once you're there, you start to lift your hips up and back and straighten your legs. Your legs do not have to ever be straight in downward dog. Your hands should not have all the weight in your wrists. So you're really pushing into your knuckles, more into like the
And your heels have to touch the ground. Okay.
your heels do not ever, they don't have to touch the ground. Your knees do not have to be straight. Again, this is your practice. The one thing with downward dog I always will make sure is that your shoulders are away from your ears and you're not hunched up. So it's really just creating space in your back body. It's starting to warm up your back body. You're starting to breathe, opening your hamstrings, your calves. If your feet are on the ground, I always like to tell people you can lift up your toes from like there and get a really, really good calf stretch.
Stretch, my friend. Yeah.
My favorite.
Good to wake up your body in the morning and to just our feet hit the ground and we just start running. And I say all the time that we spend so much time like this, facing forward, either seated at a chair or standing. I mean, how often do we even do a side stretch, right? It's almost never occurring in our natural movements throughout the day. And just sitting down, getting that little stretch to the side, even if for you it's this, right? Or if it's this, like moving your body in a way that it doesn't usually do, that feels good, challenging but not painful. Like that to me is what's so beautiful about yoga. You go, oh, I can do that. And then the next day you might be able to do a little bit more and a little bit more. And that's progress. And it feels so good.
Absolutely. I would even say doing cat-cow poses, like you were talking about the flexibility of the yogi, that's usually like, they all say it's their flexibility of their spine. So a cat-cow pose, your hands are underneath your shoulders, your knees are underneath your hips. As you breathe in, you will drop your belly, open your collarbones, looking up. As you exhale, tucking your tailbone, rounding your spine, looking up at your belly button. Linking a breath to movement, inhale back down to that cow pose. Again, making your heart shine through. Exhale, round that spine, energetically pushing the floor away from you, creating more space in your shoulders. That alone and going side to side, like these aren't moves we do on a daily basis. And these are so important to keep our bodies healthy.
Gosh. And sets the tone for your whole day. Like Deani and I say, we were talking about this before we did our live stream. This is one of those few, practices or exercises or hobbies or lifestyle where you need yourself and a good, right? And to make that investment once and be done in a world where there's so many hobbies and all really great ones, but they can get really, really expensive. And I don't know that they have the same kind of benefits. So that's why I've been like banging on doors, making phone calls. Can we get some great mats? And I'm so, so excited about our collaboration with Yoga Design Lab and to have Deani here. Deani, any closing thoughts before I let you go?
Just to remember that there's so many, when I know you've linked a few, but online there's so many, so many, so many beautiful designs. Our fall collection will be coming out soon as well. And again, these are sustainable mats. So like very much working on the climate, the earth, and all of that. So it's a great bind.
Important. It really is. All right. Well, I don't want to keep anybody much longer. Let me just check with our comments and see if there's, oh gosh, so many comments. This is so great. Yay, we need more Zen with Jen. All right, working on that. Lots of folks who are new to yoga, please know it's one of the most welcoming experiences that I've ever had. I've never met a yoga instructor who made me feel inadequate, who made me feel bad about my body, who made me feel like I didn't belong. And that was from the first day I walked into nervously a yoga studio to this day, where I've made so many friends and the community that has grown so much. Deani, you grew up with that, so you know, and that's a beautiful thing. I love when people discover it later in life too, and they see how great it can be.
I think it changes so many lives when you discover it even later too, because it's like, wait, I haven't been breathing fully. I've been breathing shallow my whole life. I didn't know my spine could do this. This is great. Yeah, I'm sure we both have older clients, and to see them learn it and open it are like it's my most exciting.
Well, Deani, you're a ray of sunshine. Thank you so much for your and thank you for being with me. I'm going to say goodbye to all of our friends. I've kept you a few minutes longer than I usually do, but I'll be back with you next week. And of course, you can tune in tonight, 9 p.m. for our Susan Graver show. Check out the yoga mats, QVC.com. Deani, namaste. I'll see you soon, honey.
Thank you.